What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. Now, I was asked this question, and it's really not anything complex or hard to explain or understand, but I'll address it real quick because this is just the reality of what is. Now, in terms of a fighter getting a different trainer on short notice, okay, we often say there's no way that this guy is going to be a different fighter in that short amount of time, right? Take Anthony Joshua, for example, leaving his original trainer, going for, Robert Garcia. And that didn't go the way they wanted it to. And Garcia had words to say about AJ that basically is like, look, you're my trainer. And you're sitting here talking, to the public about me in ways like you don't believe in me. Well, that's obvious he didn't believe in AJ because he was asked, can AJ be fixed? No, can't be fixed. It's too late. No. But he took the job. Okay. So basically, if it fails, well, it's not my fault. AJ can't be fixed. He doesn't listen. He doesn't take direction well. He can say any of that. And it doesn't matter. It's not going to hurt Robert Garcia. He'll just go on to the next fighter. Okay. Now, the fight, or the fighters that I'm talking about now while I'm making this video is a reference to Chris Eubanks Jr. versus Liam Smith, and him going with Bomac in a week and a half or whatever it was, or 5 weeks. Okay, the difference is this. Okay, it's based on the fighter and how they absorb information. Okay, and have the heart to do what they have to do, and feel comfortable with it. Now, let's compare AJ to Liam Smith. To Chris Eubanks Jr., who's fighting Liam Smith. Okay, the difference with those two in this situation is this. Anthony Joshua has showed that in frustrating times, he doesn't know how to transition properly. He has to be told. He's one of those people, he has to be told, exactly what to do. And he definitely has to feel comfortable. Now, in terms of absorbing what he needs to do, that's between him and his trainer. Like, we could be saying AJ should be doing this and that. When you listen to what the trainer is saying in between rounds, that lets you know if he's doing what the trainer wants or not. Okay, because the trainer will tell him what he's doing wrong and what he wants him to do. But the difference between him and Chris Eubanks Jr. is this. Chris Eubanks Jr. has supreme confidence in his ability. Whereas AJ, he's not scared to fight. He's just not confident. Okay, always that the fight's going to go out, playing out the way he wants it to. So when you hear Chris Eubanks Jr., yeah, we know he's a bit of a narcissist, a narcissist. We know that, but he has complete confidence in himself. So it's not about him being afraid to go in there and do what he has to do. He just got beat by Liam. It's just as simple as that. He just got caught. Okay, and on top of that, he has the weight on his shoulders only if it matters to him. But the fact that people constantly compare him to his dad. So it's like, yeah, if you're comparing him to his dad, no, he hasn't lived up to the standards that his father did as a fighter. No. Is he as good as his father? No. Okay, well, take his father out the picture, doesn't matter. He's still a different individual, and he's a fighter. So his career is his career. His ability is his ability. Okay, so he's not afraid to go in there. Now, how comfortable he is, okay, as far as following out a game plan, same thing. You have to listen in the corner, in between the rounds to hear what the trainer is saying. I can't tell you what he's going to do different. And it's not about rebuilding a fighter. It's adding to what they already know. Like Anthony Joshua, he just stopped doing things that was working for him. He stopped doing what got him, what made him a champion in the first place. He's not doing those things. And that's being a boxer puncher. that lets his hands go, that used that speed and power, that was supremely confident in his ability, that wasn't worried about if you catch me, I'm hurt. No, he wasn't worried about that. When I watched him fight Robert Helenius, Anthony Joshua's not scared, man. He's overly cautious. He's not scared. It's two different things. He's not scared to let his hand to throw a punch. He's not scared to come in, and he's not scared of what you're throwing at him. It's just he's trying to be so cautious that he's holding himself back from landing shots that he could be. It's like he forget. You always hear Eddie Hearn talk about his hand speed, but AJ has obviously forgotten how fast he is. He's forgotten that he can crack with both hands. Even Robert Helenius, when he was asked about fighting Wilder, about his power, his response was, "I don't think that I am without power." So in other words, I have power too. I acknowledge that Wilder has the right hand, but I have power too. He didn't get a chance to show it in that fight. But at the end of the day, bottom line, Eubanks Jr. is more confident in what he can do in that ring than AJ is. So when, and it's not about shit talking, but when you ask Chris Eubanks Jr. about the outcome, what do you think is going to be? And he says things like, you're going to see a masterclass of boxing. I'm so far ahead of this guy. It's not about the shit talking, but the point of him being confident versus AJ saying, well, the only thing I can do is try my best and pray. You understand what I'm saying? That shows you no, AJ's convinced himself of, yes, it's true. You can say all this stuff. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and go in there and lose. Yes, it's true. It's not about shit talking. But he shows you he doesn't have the confidence that I'm going to win this fight. Do I want to lose? No. Do I want to win? Yes. Am I going to win? I'm going to try. Do you understand what I'm saying? So him convincing himself to think like that, it's a con. It's not a pro. You understand? So it's the difference is the mindset. So if Chris Eubanks Jr. can absorb, look, we saw him imitating Roy. I don't think Roy trained him to imitate him. Roy was just giving him things that he did because Roy was a different type of fighter. So Roy's going to train you the way he fights, okay, which was extraordinary. So you've seen him trying to imitate Roy, but he doesn't have Roy's natural gifts. He doesn't have Roy's hand speed, blinding hand speed, quick feet, the ability to get out of way of shots, that natural athleticism, the ring IQ. He's not Roy Jones, okay? He looks more like the Roy Jones that lost to Antonio Tarver. He looks more like that type of Roy Jones. I can still, move if I want to. If I can still move and get out of the way of certain punches. I can catch you. If Roy Jones got, he wasn't letting his hands go at that point. Okay. Chris was letting his hands go. So when I say he reminds me of Roy, I don't mean he's washed up like when Roy was washed up. What I'm saying is when Roy Jones was able to beat certain fighters, even though he wasn't in his prime anymore, and he was mimicking stuff he used to do, but you could see that, nah, it's not the same. That's what I mean. He was mimicking Roy, but he doesn't have Roy's footwork. Like I say, he doesn't have anything that Roy has. He does not Roy Jones, okay? Roy Jones even went in so far to try to big up Chris Eubanks Jr. He said that, Chris Eubanks is doing everything that he told him to say. Chris Eubanks might even be better than I was. And I know Roy Jones. I said, man, Roy, you really trying to make your fan base curse your ass out. Seriously, we know Chris Eubanks is not on that level, but he's more confident in his ability than Anthony Joshua is. So yeah, how much you can absorb what you learn and have the heart to do it. So again, AJ's not scared to fight. He's just not confident doing certain things, and it shows. So even when he knocked out Helenius, what did his trainer tell him? Derek James said it. He told him, man, I'm trying to land it right here. Yeah, I know. He's just throw it. Just throw it. Why? AJ's trying to cut the distance off to get in perfect position to throw the punch. You understand what I'm saying? So now, after seeing he got the knockout, study. That's why I say study what you were doing wrong. Study the whole fight. Look at what you were doing well and what you wasn't doing, what you could have been doing different, what you should have been doing different. That's the stuff you work on. Okay, I don't think that Chris Eubanks Jr. has that hard of a time of feeling comfortable doing what he has to do than AJ does. So it comes down to the fighter. So if you have a good trainer and your trainer's giving you the right things, okay, you have the tools, he's showing you how to use them, it's up to you. but you have to feel comfortable. And I believe that's the difference. One of the main differences with Eubanks Jr. and with AJ is neither one of them is scared to go in there and fight. It's just that Chris has, look, he was fighting Liam Smith back. Let's not be stupid. Let's not act like he wasn't landing shots. He was catching with those uppercuts and everything. He was fighting back. He was careless on defense. He would throw his shots, pull his hand back low. He was standing there in the pocket when he didn't need to. If you're not ready to punch, you get the fuck out the pocket. What are you standing there for? And he kept going in the corner. He kept, just things he was doing, in my opinion, he was being irresponsible, ducking with his hands down. And, he always did that kind of shit. And it just, it caught up with him this time. So what Bomac has showed him, I don't know, man. We just have to wait and see how it plays out Saturday night. But that's the difference. So, you can get whatever trainer you want, man. But if you don't absorb these things and feel comfortable, that's the main thing. You have to feel comfortable. I mean, think about when you first took your road test. No, before your road test. Think about the first time you got behind the wheel of a car, right? No matter how anxious you was, I'm driving. Oh shit, I pull out the driveway. Okay, I'm going out I'm driving. When your ass got on that road, the butterflies, the nervousness is there because you got a car doing 90 miles per hour, flying on a 45 mile per hour street or something. And it's there. That nervousness comes out because you don't want to get in an accident. You want to make sure everything you're doing right. This is not written. This is not a written test. This is the road test, right? You're training for your road test, rather. So yeah, the first time you start doing something is different. After a while, it gets to the point where, you're comfortable, right? But if you have had people ram into you, or you've seen crazy accidents, that can affect the person where they're scared to drive. I know people personally who haven't driven in years. They still have a license, renew it every year, but they don't drive. So they don't, it's like they don't care because things that they saw. And they never even had an accident. And I know people that had accidents that they don't want to drive, or they're scared to drive on the highway. So it's the same thing with fighters, man. They go through this, and Anthony Joshua has convinced himself to be safety first to the point where he tries to not get hit at all, which is great. But he's limiting his offense. And in limiting his offense is causing him to get hit because he, again, is in the pocket when he shouldn't be. You're not ready to punch. Why stand there, right? And the transitioning when, you're backing up, for example, he doesn't jab when he's backing up. Get your head off that center line. Come back with a shot. Combination here. Don't be predictable with how you're throwing your punches. You see those differences. Now with Liam Smith versus Chris Eubanks Jr., Chris just got beat. It's just as simple as that. Like, he just got beat. So it's not like this is a thing where, Chris is just not the same fighter. No, Chris just never got to the level that everybody wanted to see. But again, when you saw him fight the first fight under Roy Jones, you could see an improvement and you can see a difference. The difference is Liam Smith is better than that guy that he fought, and he wasn't able to be as successful against Liam as he was with that guy. So now what else do you have, right? Now, if he doesn't get knocked out, how does the fight play out? We don't know. It doesn't matter because what happened, happened. So now it's, well, what do I do to not get knocked out? So we'll just have to see Saturday night. So if there's any improvements, we'll break the fight down and we'll see how it goes. But as far as Anthony Joshua goes, what Anthony Joshua is doing is working for him. It's just that people don't like it because, he was knocking everybody out. And he was coming in there and it was a different AJ. But AJ has a different mindset, and you wanting to see him go back to the old AJ is not happening, unfortunately. But what I say is he needs to improve on all areas. It's not about fighting just one way. And that's the thing with AJ that I look at is, don't just depend on just being a boxer, stand on the outside. You still need to be that boxer puncher. It's the transitioning. When should I do it? When to turn it up? That's what I'm saying. So AJ's ring IQ, if he's not being instructed at this point in his career, not before, but now, if he's not being told what to do, like every single round or whatever rounds is tough, even when he's winning the rounds, the fact he's not able to do what he's trying, that he really wants to, but he's winning the rounds, he still needs to be instructed on everything. And I think the difference between him and Chris Eubanks in that sense is Chris Eubanks might just be hard-headed. Like, he just wants to do things his way. Whereas AJ has a confidence issue, in doing that. So this is why I'm saying maybe after he's seen, damn, I knocked Helenius out with one fucking punch, one right hand, and it damaged him every bit as Wilder's punch did. Okay? Maybe that confidence will be there that I can get that shot there. If he's studying what he was doing wrong, and okay, I'm trying to get my feet this way, that position, I'm trying to throw the right hand perfectly, and he's telegraphing it because you're making it able to be telegraphed. Like he's going to read it because he see what you're doing. Step, get in, okay, jab, right hand. It's like, no. And he's dope, just throw it. You there, you in range, just throw it. You're holding back and you're waiting, so when you do come in, you're trying to get so close and you're throwing the same punch. You're doing it the same way. Isn't that the same shit we say about Wilder? He throws the same shit, jab, right hand. He comes in, jab, right. We know AJ has way more than that in his arsenal, but that's why it's predictable. That's why, Wilder would get outboxed by a guy for like the whole fight, just get outboxed and then finally land that punch. So the difference is AJ's winning these rounds. He's winning these fights. You understand? He's ahead on the scorecards. But he's trying to get so close to throw the shot so perfect that's what he's not understanding. They telegraph it because of the way you're throwing it, the way you're stepping in and trying to get in the same range every single time. That's why I said if he would learn to sidestep, throw punches off that angle, throw shots to the hip, those, to the body, and not be so predictable where his opponents know where his shots are coming. They just know that he's trying to be cautious. And when you try to keep it long, that's great. But you got to put some hurt on a guy, man. So it's a difference. And I said all that to come back to this conclusion. Bottom line, like I said, it's the mindset that's different. It comes down to the fighter, man. It's basically you understanding the assignment, knowing what you're supposed to do. You have to troubleshoot in that ring. Okay, you have to be in there knowing what I'm supposed to be doing. That comes with experience. So this is why we know it's a confidence thing with AJ. It's not experience. AJ's been fighting over 10 fucking years now. It's a confidence thing. Okay, more than 10 years. And I'm just talking as a pro. So it's a confidence thing now. And that's the difference. So, yeah, so what I'm saying is I can't say that I think that Chris Eubanks is like Chris Eubanks Jr. is going to lose because he didn't have enough time with Bomac. We don't know. We'll have to see. Now, if he wins, what is everybody going to say then? It's about tweaking things. It's not trying to change him to be a different fighter, a better fighter, more cautious. This is what you wasn't doing. This is what we're going to work on. This is what you do. So it comes down to the fighter, the chemistry, and them feeling comfortable. So we'll see how it goes. Now, in terms of who's training you, everybody's style doesn't suit you. Maybe what Bomac is showing him is not. Look, it doesn't mean Bomac is a better trainer than Roy Jones. But maybe what Bomac is showing him may be more helpful for his style. Maybe he'll still combine things he learned from Roy Jones as well. You understand what I mean? So we don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But just in general, it's a mindset thing. Anyway, talk to me in the comment section. What y'all think about the fight? Y'all think Chris Eubanks Jr. can finally beat Liam Smith, or do you think it's a repeat? Liam Smith knocks him out again or beat him off points? Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people. I will catch y'all in the next video.